Good evening. Hi, this is Kim Wilson with the Morgan County News and Interviews, here with Ryan. Say hi, Ryan.
Hello, everybody. Ryan Ziprick.
Okay, and Randy Frese. And so we have some good questions for him tonight. We're here at a meet and greet of his here in Jacksonville. And the first question is, there's an upcoming veto session coming up sometime in October. And would you like to talk about some things that might be coming up in that?
Certainly, I would love to. I know there's some things that were left undone because we got out of Springfield a little earlier than typical last year, and we were on. I think there's a lot of construction going on at the Capitol, and they wanted to get us out before some major construction started. So some things were left on the table, and one of the things that it's not maybe a very large thing, but it means large things to some people, and that is the tax credit for donations to scholarships for private schools. Of course, we spend a lot of money for public schools in the state of Illinois, but we should have had as a simple little $75 million tax credit scholarship for private schools. And that was, we've had it, it's been going, it's been working great for us. And for some reason, the other side of the aisle decided that shouldn't be included in the end result of the budget. So we've brought it right back up and said, let's talk about this when we get back for veto session in October. And they said, we'll do that. That's the agreement that we have. Now, I hope that discussion is fruitful and that we can come through to the end, because it does mean a lot to some people. So.
Yes.
And we talked about, you had mentioned too about the nuclear plan. There was something that came up about that.
Yeah, Illinois has had a moratorium on any kind of nuclear, producing energy, and we had a bill, and we said, well, let's open that. Let's cease that moratorium on that, and let's see, because small cell nuclear seems to be working in some other states, and we know we're going to need energy. Right now, I think everybody's energy bill has probably been going up lately because we've been buying more from the wind turbines, we've been buying more from solar, and there's a little bit higher cost. And nuclear can still be safe, and it can produce and at a equitable and economical price. So one of the things that Illinois, I think, has always been good at is making sure that energy could get to, like, manufacturers. We could supply steady energy at a decent price to manufacturers. Now that price has gone up, manufacturers are looking at Illinois and saying, well, they don't have that advantage anymore. Why should we go there?
It costs more for business. It costs more for everything.
So let's bring businesses back, and let's create some good low-cost energy. And I think we should be discussing that nuclear bill once we get back in the veto session come October.
Sounds awesome. Well, State Representative Randy Frese, we're also coming up. You, as a former circuit clerk of Adams County,
yes.
You know very well. The Safety Act was approved by the Supreme Court, Illinois Supreme Court, and we were also working in the courthouse. Also understand what kind of the new changes are you expecting that's going to be implemented, and how are we going to continue to look on that and try to keep fighting it or taking it to court?
Yeah, Illinois is not unique. This isn't something that's just happening in Illinois where they're trying to eliminate bond and try to get the people who maybe didn't have the money to bond themselves out and they're incarcerated. That's happening throughout the United States. But it's happening in areas, and they're finding that maybe they didn't set it up right to begin with. So we were able to, in late 2022, in veto session or lame duck session back then, and then during the 2023 for initial session, to be able to clear up some of that vague language that was in the bill. And really, I got to put credit out there to state's attorneys and to chiefs of police and sheriffs and all the law enforcement who recognized that there was going to be some vague issues, and that something in one county may be interpreted one way, and then in another county may be interpreted totally differently. We can't have that. Yeah, I mean, you can't have that. So we were able to clean some of that up, and we'll be monitoring it, because the Illinois Supreme Court says, it meets all their expectations at constitutionality. So it's going to be part of what we're going to have to live with, but we're going to keep an eye on it. to see how it works. And we want to make sure public safety is number one. Public safety, public education, public safety, public health. We have to make sure that we do our job in Springfield in those areas. And so we'll be monitoring that, and hopefully I can almost guarantee you we'll be back to the table drawing more amendments to that Safety Act in order to make sure it works across the state of Illinois in all 102 counties.
We really appreciate that, State Representative Randy Frese. And last question, we'll bring it home to Morgan County.
Sure.
I know that we have some JDC,
Yes.
Developmental Center stuff coming up on the agenda, and possible too, Cooridor 67. Would you like to elaborate more on that?
Well, certainly, Cooridor 67 is always going to be a priority, because if you can bring the traffic through, both commercial and the people going to and from work, to and from their vacations, to and from school, that's a major artery that you need to have, and that's what comes right through Jacksonville, Illinois. So we'll make sure we continue to work on that and make sure the funding's there to create a great artery that for all that commerce to come through Jacksonville. But also the Jacksonville Developmental Center. If anybody who knows the history on that, it was closed about 11, 12 years ago. At the same time, a similar facility was closed in Tinley Park. Well, just this last session, the Tinley Park issue was resolved. The state is going to do something about cleaning up some of those buildings, and Tinley Park is going to do something about acquiring some of that property, or maybe all of it. I'm not sure how it works out. But I know the guy who carried the bills, multiple bills, to make that happen. And I said, I would support your bill if you will help me, because I have a similar situation right here in Morgan County in Jacksonville, Illinois. And he said, I will help you. I will help you. So I'm reaching out across the aisle. Hopefully we can get some done. I don't want to create false hope, because I know this has been sitting there for a dozen years and people wanted something done. But we're going to continue to do it. We're going to continue to introduce it every single year until we get noticed and say the state of Illinois has to step up and do the job. We can't let buildings run down and become hazards to our youth and to other members of the community. So my heart's lifted up a little bit that something was done about in Tinley Park. Let's hope we can do something here as well.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with us, Randy Frese.
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone that came out and supported his meet and greet tonight.
Yeah, it was a great crowd tonight. I loved it.
Yeah, and a lot of the people here are from the Morgan County Republican Club and just Morgan County Republicans in general. And once again, thank you so much. Kim and Ryan and Randy, over and out. God bless.
Good night.